in Petersburg, and my primary question today is why? Why do we have to vote on this today? Because we don't really, you're voting on adding 1% to the sales tax for what? I mean, we don't really have a plan to look at. We don't know how much it's going to cost. We don't know whether there's going to be a rail or not. But you're willing to vote today to go forward with a referendum on a sales tax that will take some number of dollars out of our economy. Some people say $140 million or $1.4 billion over 10 years, as they like to talk about in Washington. So you want to make you want to vote on something that you don't really know what you're voting for, other than to take the money away from the people. At least you're taking it away from all of the people instead of just the property owners. And again, I think that's a bad move, because now the least among us are going to end up paying taxes to support other people to ride the rails or the buses or whatever. I looked at the 2013 budget for PSTA, and their budget, they have budgeted to spend $95 million in 2013. That's operating and capital costs. Out of that $95 million, $15 million are returned by the people who ride the buses and the people who advertise on the buses, leaving taxpayers with an $80 million liability. And of course, some of that money is, like Barb said, is free money from Washington. People have come up here and talked about how wonderful it is to ride the rails in Charlotte and Minneapolis. I would like to point out that I did some studies on light rails around the country. The Charlotte light rail system currently costs taxpayers $15 per trip for each person that gets on the light rail, who's paying about $2. And in Minneapolis, there was a gentleman here who thought the system in Minneapolis was really nice. It is, I'm sure it is, because the taxpayers are supporting it to the tune of $21 per ride. So right now we've got less than 3% of the population of Pinellas County riding the buses. And as Barb also pointed out through their own bus study, most of those buses are not being used efficiently. And for the people that have asthma, there's more pollution from those buses with 5 or 10 people on them than there is in the cars that are being driven around. So that's also a fact. So I just ask you to sit back and think, why do we have to do that today? And in closing, I would like to say, yes, we people would like to have the opportunity to vote. We voted in 1996 for term limits, and we didn't get what we voted for.